As athletes, we all want to win. We chase medals, records, and perfection. We tell ourselves that pain is temporary and greatness lasts forever. We'll do anything for it, even if it means breaking ourselves in the process. I know what this feels like. I've lived it. I've stood on the edge of the board with my heart pounding out of my chest, but not from the dive, from the fear of letting everyone down and of not being good enough.
Well, mental health has become a bigger issue as far as the colleges are concerned. I think there's a lot more stress. There's a lot more pressures on these kids with school and athletics. So that mental health has become a bigger issue. We have it here on our team, as most do, and we try to help them work through it as well as get them help working through it.
Approximately 51.7% struggle with mental health problems at some point in their lives. In collegiate sports, 30% of athletes report feeling extremely overwhelmed, and nearly 25% feel mentally exhausted. Yet less than half of these student athletes who report mental health concerns seek treatment.
Okay, most of my divers, with their practices and their schedules and weightlifting in the mornings, there's a lot of juggling and stuff. So we do watch to see if they're over practice, struggling in classes, to make sure that they don't have a burnout. I like to visit with my divers ahead of time to make sure things are going fine with classes, they're struggling with teammates, or if we're needing to talk, things are going well at home. So we always watch out to make sure we don't have a burnout rate.
Coaches often tell us to tough it out, and sometimes it works until it doesn't. Burnout isn't just feeling tired, it's a syndrome of emotional and physical exhaustion, a reduced sense of accomplishment, and sport devaluation. It's when you stop recognizing the person staring back at you, when you dread the sport you used to love, and when your mind gives up before your body ever does.
Well, I'm pretty sure I'm considered one of the tougher coaches around. But I think pushing an athlete to become the best that they can become is an important job of what I do. It's an important part of what I do. If you push those athletes, though, you also need to learn how to love on those athletes and make sure that they understand that what you're doing is in their best interest, and that you are hopefully creating a strong bond between coach and athlete, and that they start to trust you and believe in what the process is.
Mental health challenges in college athletics aren't rare. Between 5.6 and 21% of college athletes experience depression, compared to just 5% in the general population. For female athletes, the pressure can be heavier. Nearly 30% of them report feeling overwhelming anxiety every single day. And behind the scenes, up to 84% of collegiate athletes have experienced eating disorders.
Yes, I have experienced burnout in my diving career. Actually, it was more of a physical and emotional burnout. I remember having trouble going to practice and really remembering why I started doing the sport. Coping with it was really hard. It was a big step for me, but I think it's important to take a step back, talk to your teammates, your coaches, and really fall in love with the sport once more. What really helped me was talking to people, understanding that it's okay, it's normal to feel tired, exhausted, and without energy. But again, it's really important to talk to people and understand that you have a support group around you.
Injuries are more than physical setbacks. For many athletes, a season-ending injury isn't just a pause, it's an identity crisis. The sudden loss of routine, purpose, and community can lead to depression, anxiety, and even post-traumatic stress. One study found that injured athletes often experience significant grief, struggling to reconcile their self-worth beyond the sport. Healing just isn't about the body, it's about the mind.
One of the things I try to work with my divers is I want to push them to be their best. I want to challenge them to feel like they're getting better. But there's times where I'll back off to where it'll be easier to do a simpler dive and do it well rather than doing a super hard dive that it's not going to score a lot of points, and it's causing more problems with stress and anxiety with the divers. So I focus on divers that are easier to work and they feel better about.
The silence surrounding mental health in sports isn't just deafening, it's deadly. Between 2002 and 2022, 128 NCAA athletes died by suicide, with the average age just being 20 years old. Driving this crisis is a culture of stigma, one that labels struggle as weakness and keeps athletes from reaching out.
All right. College athletes do have a lot more on their plates nowadays. It is a lot more difficult to be a college athlete and a college student, and it just takes, you got to dig deep and you got to, want it more than, the average student.
So to fight the stigma, we must ask, what if we checked in on our teammates? What if coaches led with compassion, not fear? And what if access to therapy was normal? Statistics aren't just numbers, they're people. They're you and me. And when athletes are supported, truly supported, they don't just survive, they soar.
You are not weak for feeling this way. It's okay to feel like that. Just find someone you trust that can be a friend, your parents, a teammate. It doesn't really matter. Just find someone you truly trust and talk to them. Actually, that's what makes athletes way stronger. Being vulnerable and being okay with not feeling great. Talk to someone and it's completely okay.
So check on your teammates, listen without judgment, advocate for better resources, and end the stigma. It starts with one conversation, one act of courage, and it could save a life. Because no athlete should have to choose between their sport and their sanity.